Hello boys and girls and welcome back to Legend of Zelda. This is You Too Young for This. And this episode we're going to take on the Stone Tower. Last episode we just basically made it here and heard the annoying song. It's a good song, I believe. It is a good song, that elegy of emptiness over and over again. Well, guess what? We're going to be listening to it a little bit more this episode. But first, real quick, I ran back to Clock Tower, if my mind will work today, and Clock Town, and grabbed me some Cheeto Romani, and you could buy that at the bar, the one that you use the cow's mask for, and basically I'm going to use it. It'll give us unlimited magic for the 3-day cycle. We are going to be using magic a lot in there. The double magic bar meter that I got in the Snowhead Mountain Temple would help out a little bit. On my practice file, I didn't even get any of the fairies from any of the temples, and I didn't even use Cheeto Romani. And yeah, it basically I had to keep on running around for whatchamacallit, for magic. And I have to keep on remembering that song. It's, like I said, it's a cool song. I like it. But just the repetitive of it. Whatever. And I grabbed a couple of fairies because it's going to be brutal in this temple. Trust me, it's not going to be fun at all. Alright, so that one is... Actually, I could have done that. So let's just go ahead and open our path forward. Wrong button, but you two. There we go. But anyway, as soon as we get into this temple, I am going to try to get all 15 fairies in here as well, 15 stray fairies. I don't know where all of them are off the top of my head. Like I said, last time I ran this area was back in May, and yeah, I was at a real disadvantage back then. So, and since this is basically the last dungeon of the game, well, not last dungeon, but last temple, there are a couple, there's like 4 mini dungeons left to do, and I'll probably fit them all within one video. We'll see once we get there. But yeah, Stone Tower, here we come. Alright, since I already got my arrows, let's go ahead and grab those. Anything else that I might need? Stone Mask, definitely would be a plus, because of all the enemies around here. And the stray fairies, the 15 stray fairies are in these chests that are scattered all around. So the Great Fairy Mask that I got is not going to be of any help in this temple, because it's going to be, yeah, every single chest I open will either have a small key or a fairy inside, or a red ruby. I think there's some red rubies in here. Anyway, sunblock, there's no light here, so we can't really do anything about it. And also, with the last dungeon, it makes me remember, I said this in a previous episode of... I had a little bit of a rant. There is, like, two Let's Players that I was watching. One of them I'm still continuing to watch because he's actually pretty good. I do like him. But the other one, I used to kind of like him, and then he did a game on something. And basically started cheating his way through the game, which I don't approve of. I don't like Let's Plays where you sit there and cheat. I mean, if you're using the in-game mechanics like I'm doing with the Ciccio Romani, I'll let that slide. Because it's just one of those things that I'll let slide. And hello, Mr. Bomb Chew. I'll explode for you. But anyway, he basically, it was a really, really long game that he was playing. And I would have loved to have seen him do it correctly. But he just basically used God mode and went around and just running into situations where the enemies were supposed to kill him, or he was supposed to use silent tactics, and yet he didn't. Yeah, it wasn't an enjoyable Let's Play, let's say. And as for the other one, the other Let's Player, I'm not going to give out names of these guys at all. He basically took the last dungeon, oh my Bomb Chew in my face, Batman. Anyway, he took the last dungeon of the game, and for 90% of the final dungeon of the game that he was doing, he just basically sped it up and put it to music. He didn't commentate over it whatsoever. He didn't offer any tips, strategies. Granted, it's the final dungeon of the game, and you know what? I'm gonna not use the blast mask for this one and use just regular bombs. And it wasn't enjoyable at all. I was just sitting here like, if I wanted to see gameplay of all this, hello little bird, you must die. If I wanted to see gameplay of a game, I would actually look up gameplay of said game and not have any commentary over it. Ow. So, yeah, anyway, guys, the lesson of the story is, any of you LPers out there, or future LPers, or striving LPers, when it comes to actually recording your stuff, actually put a little bit of work into it. Don't just sit there and BS your way through it. Like, if you don't want to play a game, don't play it. You know, if you want to get through a game fast, and both of them, their reasoning for what they did is getting through the game fast, or getting through it pretty much in a timely manner, to where they could go on and start their own, or their next Let's Play. Either that, or they just lost interest in the game, or it's... If you run into that, like me with Majora's Mask, I'm already at a point where I want to get this done and over with. And, well, I do have a plan for it. This temple is going to be a little bit different than other temples. And these Armos guys are sitting here killing me. I don't want them to kill me. I want them to die in the face. Basically, what I'm going to do with this temple, unlike other temples that I have done, I'm going to record it in one go. So if you You may not hear me do my introduction and outro in every single part of this temple. And the parts may be a little bit longer in that fact. It might be actually around the 18-minute mark, 20-minute mark. I don't know. I haven't gone and figured out a time for how long these parts are going to be. So, yeah. Like I said, just if you lose interest in the game, unless you're like really far into the game like I am, this is the last dungeon. There's no way I'm gonna leave this game unfinished at this point. Let's see, what do I need? I need the Zora's Mask. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm finishing it now. I'm at the last dungeon. Might as well get through it when I can. Or how I can, or whatever. Anyway, grab me, Dexy hand, and throw me up there, please. You're a doll. Thank you. So, let's see what else was I going to say. Oh yeah, I have figured out. I think I already said this in the previous part. I've already figured out what my next 2 LPs are going to be. I might be changing one of those up because I found another game that I wanted to do as well. It's a really good game, and it hasn't really been done all that much, whereas the 2 games that I've been thinking of doing, one of them has been done to a point where, I mean, it's still fresh, but you can still find Let's Plays of it up on the interwebs. Alright, where am I going? Whereas the other one, I will... Okay, that's where I'm going. That's where I need to go. I'm sorry, Dexy Hand, I already gone up there. Don't need to go up there again. The other one is actually a little bit rarer, the other game that I want to play. So yeah, I am going to be playing the one that's a little bit more rarer because I think it deserves a little bit more recognition than it has gotten in the past. And I want to try to start to do games that you don't really normally see as Let's Plays. This one being an exception, Batman Arkham Asylum being an exception. Oh, hello, little Deku guys. Haven't seen you since the Water Temple. Cool. Which was actually the previous temple. Alright, where else do I need to go? And this temple is really, really confusing. I like it. I like the layout. Since I got the map, I'm actually going to show you. Yeah, the temple, this temple, ain't really that big at all. It's only 2 floors, really simple layout, but yet it actually is a little bit confusing, and it is longer than it lets on to be. So, let's see, I already have a key. Ooh. Alright. It's nighttime, and yet there's still light shining through. I don't know if this is moonlight, or you get a little bit of mood lighting going on here. I don't know. Maybe it's the moon that's getting closer and having all of that fun stuff. Alright, I believe this chest over here contains a compass. So let's go ahead and blow up that bomb chew and snag ourselves a compass. We can actually find chests now. And like I said, all 15 of the stray fairies are in chests. It was being the last few temples, or the last temple, the water temple. Some of the oh, I hate this room. Good, I actually have the stone mask out, but I don't have the Goron mask. This, personally, is my most hated room in the entire game. Yes, because we have black bows. Hello, black bows. Come over and swarm me, please. Swarm me. Alright, death to all of you. Because of these black bows, they keep on respawning. Now, fortunately, I have the stone mask. That makes this room infinitely easier than if you were not using the stone mask. Because if you weren't using the stone mask, I would actually have 1 or 2 black bows on my ass right now, if I didn't have it. The stone mask is my saving grace for this game. I gotta say, I've actually tried to run without the stone mask. Oh, and by the way, there's one of those little rolly guys right here, if you don't have your stone mask on. So, he's like, hello, dude. Goodbye, dude. I don't want to see you no more. So yeah, it's really... And they put these chests in really random spots, too. It's really annoying spots. Let's see, I believe it's this one. Yes. All the other ones on the wall, all those little sun markings are fakes. If you go up and shine them, they'll just poof away into nothingness. Yeah, whatever. And this is our second stray fairy, if I remember correctly. Yay! And how I remember, I actually watch a little bit of... I had a guy in my sub box on YouTube doing a Let's Play of Majora's Mask. He was actually pretty darn good. I'm surprised he doesn't have a lot of subs. He just barely got partnered like a month or 2 ago. I'm surprised he wasn't partnered all the way up until then. So, interesting. Anyway, these mirrors, the longer you charge them up, the longer they actually shine light out at them, and that way you can go and take aim at the next target. Like this right here, this little thing, if you had the black bows swarming you, it would be actually impossible to, or well, not impossible, but next to impossible to do. At least for me, anyway. Because you'd be sitting there in the light, and then the black bows would push you out the way. Oh, hello, dude. Goodbye, dude. I don't want to see you.